Hi Zach, you're a speaker on Code Europe, and your lecture is about what? Can you talk about? Can you tell us more about them?
Actually, I have two talks. I have a workshop about data attack proxy and a lecture about connected with stuff everywhere where we go. So my workshop is about Zap. So it's open free tool from the community to the community to help people, especially devs, but even pen testers like your servant, to try and find vulnerabilities, to try and debug web application, and it acts almost like a web proxy. So today, in Krakow too, we went through the basic usage and how to automate, to make automation scans, etc. And my talk is about connected devices, and I'm doing a focus on connected kiosks, ATMs. I think we have a couple of them in Warsaw too, connected ticket selling machines. So preach security and discover new stuff. So I'm trying to show how we can escape the user environment, how this could be a security problem, and especially how to avoid the security problems.
What are you thinking about will be the biggest security challenge for consultants like you in machine learning world?
I think I'm gonna have a not real technical answer. Maybe not in the technical field. But I think the biggest problem from my point of view is that some people think that machine learning at some point that machines will replace humans. And while it makes great science fiction movies, I think that ain't true. Machine learning is very useful, and actually I use it. We're supposed to use it to make some developments. I'm not really free to talk about everything, but we can use it like to ameliorate our tools, to try and improve the way our attacks work. It will certainly, and it is certainly helping attackers to improve their attacks and their bad deeds. So we need to adapt it, but we shouldn't forget that machine learning is good. It will help us automate more, but we will still need human testings and humans behind everything.
Yes, but it is now a problem, or it's not a problem yet.
No, it's not a problem. I don't think it will be a problem. A tool is a tool. It depends how you make what you're gonna make it, how you're gonna use it. It's like writing. Writing is good. Is it bad or is it good? I don't know. It depends what you write. If you write hateful speeches with it, that's bad.
You saw any usage of machine learning in security?
Yeah, to improve. Like I said, one good usage is for trying to automate discovery of vulnerabilities and trying to help bypass, for example, some security controls. It's very cool to use machine learning patterns to let your tools try to adapt and try to find new vector attacks.
Okay. What are the most interesting from researcher point of view security breaches and problems that you have to solve in your career?
Oh gosh, too many, too many or less.
Give us a few of them.
I know you know it. But I'm gonna do just a quick bio. I started working with military context, very occult, very mad generals, hats and blah blah blah, and very complicated. The enemy was there. We knew it. Then I worked for media companies, television, etc., and websites. Again, other types of attacks, and now I'm a security consultant, so I have the chance to see like many different environments, many different customers. But the problems we solve, like they're always the same. Part of them is like the lack of I call it the inner problem, the lack of will to take security problems seriously, because like sometimes you have some people saying like, oh come on, nobody will think of that. Like I do, I do think of bad things. I know like mobsters, mafia, thieves. They think about that. And again, we had like I think you see so much denial of service attacks that coming out like thanks to connected gears. Again, lack of security on them. I managed a couple of security incidents that were really interesting, like malware attacks, where users were implicated. So clicking on this Anna Kornikova pictures, only the picture was .vbs, and all computers were infected. We had many different attacks. One that was interesting is like the attacks that you're not thinking of, because usually we just think of the most obvious stuff. We say that, or we, in the security industry, we're evolving too. We at one moment we thought that putting walls, firewalls will help, but it's like war. War evolved, and security also evolved. We're not doing wars like two armies attacking each other. Now the attacker is inside the walls. We go and say, alas, we see that with terrorism. Terrorists are there. And we need to find new way to find them. And it's the same thing in hacking and security. The hackers are already there. And when companies tell us like, oh, we have no security incidents, I'm like, then you have bad security management because you don't know what you have in your company. So. Yeah, I think the most interesting things, I couldn't talk about them like, completely freely, but there were the threatened attacks that were hidden and that we managed to find. And yeah.
Okay, so now we are in the era of wearables, and what do you think will be the biggest security challenge in that field?
I'm gonna start with non-politically correct answer. Everything is sucks. Throw them. No, for God's sakes, why do we need a smart pen or a smart pad or a smart? Sorry?
To be hacked.
To be hacked, exactly. For me, it's great. I like it. Yeah, please make them. That makes there's bug bounty now. It's cool for me. It makes a challenge. But why do we need them? Sometimes it's just like some marketing guy come and say, let's make it connected, It's like, let's make it black, because or let's make it orange, because this season orange is the new black, so we go. And they connected without business impact, without evaluation risk, without evaluation security. So risks, we've seen those. We had a terabit scale attack recently of denial of service, because the problem is the implementation of basic security stuff. We don't implement security enough in classical developments, and in these new developments, people don't think about security. The wearable they offer small computing capacities, so people will say, yeah, we won't use a cipher algorithm. We don't have enough capacity. They use the capacity to have a color or something, so they don't implement security, and it goes away and it blows away, and we hack them, and that's what I'm showing later on my talk.
Yeah. Okay. What is the weakest link in security for you?
For me personally, that will be us, humans, because you can implement the best security program you want, and I'm sure there are so many companies telling you that with their solution, and I trust them. Their solution is great. They offer you these things and dashboards and blah blah blah. Okay, cool story. But in reality, it comes to the man or women who gonna click, who gonna act, and who gonna make the decision. And you can have the best firewalls. If you corrupt a person and you make her open you the door or open the firewalls, or click on the Anna Kournikova. We're always using this example. They will give you the keys to heaven, and you can wreak hell on them, and you bring hell to them. So yeah, and alas, in 10 years I've seen. I'm not that old, I hope, but in 10 years I've seen my share. I've seen people like starting to understand that pen testing is useful, that testing is useful, that coding securely is important. It needs to be the pinnacle of security. That security needs to come from the upper management classes to the working classes to the executants. But still, the rarest thing I see is the social engineering troubles. I mean, we don't do sensibilization for attackers, and attackers get used with it. And you know why? If you look at the spam mails and phishing mails, I don't know if you get those in Poland too, I guess so.
Of course not.
That the guys that send those mails, they don't even make correct grammar accents. Grammatical sentences. They just write stupid stuff because they just want someone to click on it. They just want that someone won't see, and that someone who will be stupid enough to click on it. So no need to make good grammar sentences.
Okay, so have you any advice for companies how to prevent those problems with humans?
Well, security, like you said, is a chain. You know, you have links, and you need to have good overview of the chain, and to implement security in every moment. You know, to have deep, in-depth security, because to be to be strong on every side, on every war theater, affrontment theater, and yeah, so you need to implement the security program. You have to teach your people. You have to do sensibilization. You have to go to you need to learn first to learn what you're doing. If you're a developer, this is what I tell people actually. If you're a developer, PHP developer, for example, well, learn to develop PHP. If you're a Java developer, go and see the bloody lecture, Java developer lecture. I'm not a Java programmer. I don't know nothing about Java. I know how to hack, Java applications. Okay, but there are people who are gonna teach you how to code properly. It's like hygiene, to wash your hands. So if you learn to code properly, then you want to know how to implement security and to code securely. And so go to conferences. You have good conferences in Poland, and
Like Code Europe.
like Code Europe, exactly. This is my first time here, obviously, since it's the first.
Yeah, but
like
the best one.
no, sincerely, here in Code Europe, I talked this morning to students. I had students in my workshop. I had people who used Jenkins, so they were a bit more advanced. They're professionals. I had even 2 pen testers, so I was glad I could do some jokes, And we were like, we start talking after the workshop was done about how we can improve security, and it's working together, communicating. Communication is very good, because like when you have a developer not talking to the ops and saying like, nah, it's not my problem, it's the system administrator, he will put it, and the system administrator is like, developers are rubbish, I will just do that, No, communication, work together, learn what you're doing and do it right, and there will be no problem, because again, the attacker will go for the weakest link. I don't know any thief who go stealing a big muscular guy. They go attacking grandma and poor and people without defense.
That's true. Okay, and the last question, because this question is for
Yeah.
me, because I'm really curious. Why do you put for yourself only 30% of programming skill?
Because I'm a bad programmer. I do script. I do write some Python code. But I'm not a good programmer. I mean, it's not my core, my main work, my daily work. I gain money from destroying people programs. In OWASP, we have 3 classifications. We say a project can be a breaker project, a builder project, or a defender project. I've been more on the attacker, and even when I was working on the defense side, I was the attack-centered guy. So
you like to destroy?
Yeah, I like to destroy. I write code, but my code is rubbish. My colleagues who code the complex stuff, they're always complaining about my code when they get it. But yeah, I'm not a good developer.
Okay.
But still, I need good developers to rely on. On my team, on Zap project, we have great mind who master the Java. Java for me is just a nightmare. Java apocalypse is coming, and I will be judged for my sins. But then,
So, thank you for your talk. It was a pleasure.
Thank you.
And see you around.